Welcome back. In continuing coverage, last month I reported that the State Investment Board is advised by out-of-state company Callan LLC. I also reported that Callan recommends other out-of-state firms to invest the taxpayers' money from our more than $8 billion legacy fund. And I reported on how these firms invest legacy fund dollars everywhere but North Dakota. In part 3 of our series, I'll dig into Callan's influence over the State Investment Board and the legislature's advisory board, and into why some documents Callan provided in response to Treasurer Beadle's inquiry have not been made public. KX News recently asked Representative Keith Kempenick, who is the former chair of the Legacy Fund Advisory Board, how much control Callan has over the State Investment Board.
Callan doesn't have any control on the State Investment Board. They don't have any control on the advisory board.
Kempenick says Callan only advises the board, but by looking at votes recorded in previous minutes going back 2 years, we've been unable to find any recommendations that did not get an 11-0 vote. As you see in these minutes, motion after motion, it's the same 11-0 vote, and it goes on like this. We also asked Lieutenant Governor Brent Sanford, who chairs the State Investment Board, for his explanation for the 11-0 votes. Can you explain why every vote always goes 11-0 with Callan's recommendations?
Well, we would hope that with the Rio staff and the State Investment Board being involved from the beginning of the process to the end, that you'd have good selections at the end for investment manager decisions. And that might be terminating an investment manager, that might be hiring a new investment manager, that might be changing an asset allocation. But what a consultant does for the pension plan, for the sovereign wealth funds, for the state investment boards is they help with how you manage the direction given by the client boards. Whether it's pension funds, say, invest 60% in equities, and legacy funds says 50% in equities, then we have to hire the investment managers to invest those funds. And so those are the conversations that happen with Rio staff, with State Investment Board itself, and Callan assists in that. And then it brings it forward.
An article earlier this year in the Fargo Forum said the state has retained Callan for more than 30 years without subjecting the firm to a competitive bidding process. When did Callan officially start working with the state?
I'm assuming they were predating the Legacy Fund.
Callan is the state's chief investment advisor, yet we've not been able to find any record of Callan advising the state that their own contract should be rebid on a regular basis. Shortly after taking office earlier this year, newly elected state treasurer Thomas Beadle asked Callan questions about the company's past problems in other states. Beadle, who also sits on the State Investment Board, said he wanted to, quote, make sure we have transparency and accountability, and to make sure our taxpayers have confidence in this outcome.
These are questions they've had to answer for decades, especially since some of the accusations before.
Beadle specifically asked about pay-to-play allegations. Pay-to-play is the practice of money management firms using financial arrangements outside of the bidding or selection process that may give one company an advantage over another. Reports from 2002 to 07 indicated Callan faced lawsuits and investigations suggesting possible conflict of interest or pay-to-play arrangements with pension funds and other localities. However, KX News has not found any current lawsuits or investigations regarding Callan. A month after Treasurer Beadle sent his letter to Callan, the Fargo Forum reported that nearly all of the Legacy Fund money managers that Callan recommended for work in North Dakota paid Callan's educational arm for research and other services. And in their response to Treasurer Beadle's questions, which is posted on our website, kxnet.com, Callan acknowledged receiving these payments, but claimed the payments do not influence who they recommend to invest our Legacy Fund monies. Callan's response provided a list of the current Legacy Fund firms that pay Callan, but asked the information be kept confidential. The document with that information, identified as Attachment E, is somewhere in the offices of the State Investment Board. But KX News has found no record of it ever being provided to the public. So the question remains, do the firms that pay Callan the most money get the most work in North Dakota? Attachment E would help us answer that question if it's released. KX News has reached out to Lieutenant Governor Brent Sanford and other members of the State Investment Board asking for the release of Attachment E and other financial information. However, the SIB says the information is confidential under the North Dakota Records Act because fees paid by the investment managers to Callan constitute confidential commercial and financial information under the law. They instead directed us to a report prepared by Callan, which provides no specific fee information. A link to the information found in the 2020 report is available on our website. At this point, the state's position remains the same. The public does not have a right to know if the firms that pay Callan the most get the most work in North Dakota. Why does an out-in-state firms such as Callan have a say in whether that information is public or not?
It's the contractual agreement with Callan and the State Investment Board and the Rio office. And if it was an in-state firm, if one of our investment firms could bid for this work, I would venture a guess that it would be a very similar agreement from them as well.
Why are you opposed to releasing that as public information?
I'm not opposed to anything that's legal. And so this is not legal from everything that's been given to us by the Attorney General's office, by our executive director, by staff. It's not legal for us to do so within the contractual arrangements with the consultants.
We looked at the confidentiality provision of the contract and confirmed that the SIB is required to protect information covered by any specific exemption under the Open Records Law. In this case, they said the confidential commercial and financial information exemption applies. So long as the SIB asserts the exemption to the Open Records Law, we and you will never know the amounts those consultants recommended by Callan pay Callan for other services. We've reached out to Callan for comment on this story. They responded with a letter, but requested KX News keep all contents confidential. To view all of the attached documents, you can find this story on our website, kxnet.com.